Yo, what's going on, guys? Death to Ricky here, back at it with another banger video, and in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to the brand new Gorillaz album, The Mountain. We're finally here. This rollout feels like it's lasted forever. Um, from many of my favorite songs of last year to some of my favorites of this year so far, you know, we've had 6 singles. I've already heard um like 2/5 of this album, but I'm still nonetheless very, very excited for this release. It's definitely been one of my most anticipated albums of the year this far. Um, I can't wait to get into it, and I'm gonna stop talking and listen. 15 tracks, 66 minutes. Let's fucking go. First track, we've got a title track here featuring Dennis Hopper, AJ Prasanna, Anushka Shankar, and Ayan Ali Bangash. And Aman Ali Bangash. Okay, let's see. How will this album start? Nice long opener, just under 5 minutes in length. I really loved the folk influence that's been prevalent on a lot of the singles. Like I really noticed it on Damascus. That was the track that I think had the most of it. But every single one of these singles and this track thus far has had a very massive sort of cultural influence, and that's really great to see. I think that's one thing Gorillaz have always been great at, or has always been great at. I don't know. Is it just Damon Albarn, or is there more? I don't know. I'm gonna be real. I'm not too clued up on the lower, but I always feel like they've been fantastic curators, bringing together so many different influences. You've obviously got the fact that Damon Albarn came from a Britpop band, but you've got these massive hip hop influences, soul coming through, like psychedelic pop, dance pop in certain areas. There's a lot going on always on a Gorillaz album, and that's definitely been super prevalent in this album's rollout thus far. Well, it's hardly the rollout anymore. I'm listening to the first track of the album, but still. It's able to blend so much and make it sound all so cohesive and so cool. This track's very sort of soothing so far. Very nice, very cool. orchestral woodwind. That's nice. I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming it's a flute, but I don't want to say anything culturally insensitive. Okay, cool little transition. The Mountain was a really... Why is that not coming up as a light song? Okay, I don't know. The Mountain was a really interesting opener. I think it was a very interesting choice. You know, yeah, this very sort of hypnotic song, already very atmospheric as we start the album. Wasn't really any like vocals until towards the end, but even then, that was just some spoken word stuff. You know, very sort of different and unique track. But I really liked it. I'm feeling honestly, I think that there's not much of a better way they could have opened this album. I'm already feeling feeling a 10 on that opener. Such a tranquil, peaceful track, you know, which, you know, normally you want to open your album with a bang, but I've noticed recently a lot of my favorite albums are opening with these very sort of mellow tracks, whether that be the new Baby Keem album or the new Mitski album. You can go watch my reactions to both. Even the new Brent Faiyaz to an extent, you know, are opening on these very sort of calm tracks. We'll see where it goes though, because none of these singles, none of them sounded alike. And I'm gonna assume that that might pass through onto the album. I mean, The Mountain doesn't really sound like anything I've heard from Gorillaz before. I'm loving how collaborative this album is. There's not a single track that's credited as a solo Gorillaz track, you know, which has always been a thing in their music. You know, you've got collaborations all over Plastic Beach. Some of their late 2010s stuff was like this, where it was like features on every song. You know, you obviously had all the help from hip hop acts on their early albums. You know, it's a very collaborative project, and that is pouring through so far on just that opener and the singles I've heard. Next up, we've got The Moon Cave. We've got features from Asha Puthli, sorry if I mispronounce any of these names, Bobby Womack, Dave Jolicoeur, keep going, Jalen Ngonda, and Black Thought, who I think appears multiple times in this album. I will absolutely take that. Yeah, Black Thought's all over this thing. I will take that. We're 10 minutes in this video and we're not even 2 tracks in the album. I better get my act together. Okay, let's listen to The Moon Cave. Lots of the blank titles in this album. It's an interesting choice. going groovy as fuck already. Okay, I like this. Sorry for not saying much. I'm just being sucked right into this. This is wonderful. You know, got Damon going crazy with it. You know, but this instrumental is so groovy and wonderful, and yeah, it's still so enchanting with all the orchestral elements and the plucky strings and the regular strings and all the stuff that's going on. I really like this. Such a grandiose track.
Yes, please.
I like this one. Is there a transitional section?
Grinning beginnings. One more time from the top.
Yo, I go like a butterfly, give me any. I'ma let it slide, bet you I'ma like I'm in the sky. Look at how I wanna let the ideas jet up high like a new hot. Good to be the GOAT, only way I is to treat it like it's gossiping. Yeah, watch this, yo, I go like no other guy, give me any. I'ma let it ride, bet you I'ma like I've been a vibe. I'ma just, yeah, check it. Yo, I can tell a sky pick for profit. When I flow top, pick the topic. Is it hip hop? Is it gothic? Can it fit into the corner pocket? Is it hovering above the surface? Is the pain where the megahertz is? Where the mass
This is such an interesting pocket.
is, where the church is, or the last days where the earth is. It's a movie, listen to me. They have given the permission to me to move like Mr. Halloumi. If I leave here, don't pursue me. Let me flow topic to topic, from the posh tip to the mosh pit, to the ghost watch and the folks clock and the most popular optics. Spread it all around, from the small town to the empire, spin a fall down. From the energy to burn the wall down, or the mothership gon' fall down like awesome. The heat gon' be scorching, the beat gon' need voices. The sound downright awesome. But downtown like different than the sounds y'all like. Let me break it down for 'em like, hold up. Maybe I should just wait just a little bit. Forgetting bothers me.
That track was excellent. I'm feeling a 9.5 on the Moon Cave. Really fantastic track. And one that I could see growing to a 10. I just don't want to give too many out, Because speaking of Teds, we've got this track. But that last track was just so adventurous. It really gave me almost like a similar feeling to like the Manifesto did, where it just felt like an adventure through music, and a wonderful one at that, and a one that I want to go on again and again. But I can't, because we've got 13 more tracks to get through. Now, unfortunately, I have heard the next 4 songs, which is my one criticism of this album, is the fact that there has been so many singles for it. But, you know, when you're criticizing the way an album was released and not the actual music on it, that is a really privileged critique of the album to have. You know, when your biggest complaint is that you've heard some of the music already, you know, you're clearly listening to something that's pretty good. I love this track. Spoiler for my best songs of the last year list video. This song made that list. Please go watch that video. Actually, yeah. Happy Dictator, Gorillaz, Sparks. Let's go. Sorry if there's not much commentary for the next few songs. I've already heard them, but I will try to give my thoughts on each of them. I think Sparks' contribution to this song is so zany and odd, but that's just what Sparks are. I think that they're a really great addition to this track. But even outside of them, this is just such a great Gorillaz song. I really like the lyrics on here as well. They're very sort of paranoid and conceptual and odd, but you know, that's interesting. On such an otherwise like fun, catchy pop song as well, by the way. Stop speaking so much.
As the shadows they are forming, come and join me center stage. Oh, what a happy night we live in. If you're empty and abstracted and your broken heart is full of rage. Oh, what a happy night, oh yeah. In a world of fiction, I am a velvet glove. Oh, what a happy night we live in. I am your soul, your resurrection. I am the love. Oh, what a happy night, oh yeah.
This chorus. I saw people saying that this song wasn't catchy when it came out. Like, oh, I like the concept, I like the character portrayal and stuff, but I don't actually like that chorus. It's not catchy. This chorus is wonderful. Like, I actually love this shit.
So you can sleep well at night, and the palace of your mind will be bright.
I shouldn't be singing because I don't know what's happened to my voice. I think it might just be the fact I'm recording 4 videos in one day, but my voice is dying. Stay hydrated, actually. That's a message that we can all get behind. Thanks to our sponsors, water. I can't open my bottle one-handed. I'm sorry for what's happening to my face cam. Just got a close-up of my chin. Yeah, this video is sponsored by water, guys.
Everything is slowing down, yet everything is faster.
like the messed up voices in that verse. You know, you've got like the weird like in the first line, and then by the end, it's like weird alien voice. Sounds like something off of like Alive by Yeet. um, it's such a genius chorus. Like, it's only 3 lines, and only 2 of them rhyme, but it just, so good. This whole album's so good so far. I feel like those lines really sort of foreshadow the God of Lying as well. I think these 2 tracks, like The Happy Dictator and the God of Lying, are very tied together. Oh no, what have I done? Ugh. See, this is the stuff I hate about all this, like, all this new technology. I prefer old technology by Slater. I mean, just what a song. Like, I could talk for days about how amazing that song is. I mean, I already have to an extent. But yeah, I mean, this video is going to be so long. I'm so sorry. The Happy Dictator, I love that song. From the weird, creepy, cultish verses to the whacked out backing vocals to that soaring chorus to that disorientating bridge section to that weird whirring outro. Like, everything about that song is so masterful, and it's a 10 out of 10 song. I'm sorry to say, I like this. I like this music. um, it's just such. Plus, like, as much as this album is so new for Gorillaz and so fresh, with all the different sort of world music influences, it's such a quintessential Gorillaz song. Like, that feels like a natural progression from, like, a song like On Melancholy Hill or whatever, and that's, like, my all-time favorite Gorillaz song. Hot take, I know. um, kindness, kindness, Luigi. Um, Next track. Let's just gloss over that. The hardest thing with Tony Allen. What? Sorry, I'm so sorry. With Tony Allen. Maybe I shouldn't record this much in one day. But I love making videos, so thank you. Thank you for watching. let's get into this track. This is more of like an interlude track, so I might just let it lead into Orange County. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Eddie did, Ellery. Oh yeah. Eddie did, Ellery. Oh yeah. Eddie did, Ellery.
I love how ambient this track is. I love how ambient a lot of this is, you know, like, it would be very easy to take a track like the 5-minute near fully instrumental opener and make it boring, but no, this is just music I want to get lost inside. Like, this album feels like such a journey so far.
You know the hardest thing is to say goodbye to someone you love.
All the while, there is like a hint of spookiness to it. Like, this album isn't this like clean cut experience or anything. Like, it does have a darkness to it.
That is the hardest thing. And when the curtains rise and the party begins, do you laugh? Do you break down inside, wondering how you got to the afterlife?
Yeah, more.
You know the hard.
I mean, obviously, it's just an interlude to an extent. You know, it's not going to be one of the standout tracks, but I think it really manages to stand out despite the fact it's an interlude. I think it's such a weird, woozy track. I like it a lot. I'm feeling 9 on the hardest thing. As we get into Orange County, this is a track I really like as well. Features from Bizarrap, Kara Jackson, and Anushka Shankar. Anushka Shankar is another artist who's all over this album. You can really feel their influence all throughout this thing. Kara Jackson, shout out, of course, fantastic folk songwriter. Bizarrap, I only really know from this song and like the Shakira collabs, but still, let's just get into Orange County.
Is to say goodbye to someone you love. That's the hardest thing.
Wait, is that a reference to the preceding track? That's the hardest thing. That whistling could be so corny, but it's not. Like, it manages to not be corny.
You know the hardest thing is to say goodbye to someone you love. That's the hardest thing. Every face you forgot for this job, they suspend the clock. Another star, get another chance to love. I hear you now.
I love how breezy this track is. Like, this already feels like a classic indie tune. And it came out, what, last month? I love, like, the vocal chemistry on here as well. Like, Kara's voice is so beautiful.
Before I get the chance to go, I don't know if I can take this anymore. So why you trying to break me? I don't know if I can stay on board. You know the hardest thing is to say goodbye to someone you love. That's the hardest thing. I'm not your enemy. Your legacy frightens me. Will I keep it gold or will it spoil? Before I get the chance to go. You know the hardest thing is to say goodbye to someone you love. That's the hardest thing. And I'm not your enemy. You're out of God, you stand alone in everything you gave to someone you love. That's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing. I don't know if I can.
This is strange. Normally I hate, like, fade out outros. They feel so lazy normally, but this album pulls them off. You know, there's something about this and, like, the end to the Happy Dictator where the fade out doesn't feel like the track fizzling out. It feels like, you know, a switch. So, like, I think there's a lot of attention to detail with this album, which very easily could have been lost with how ambitious this thing is. But no, the attention to detail is mad on here. That track is fantastic. Like, it's not going to stand out to a lot of people because it's a shorter track and it's more sort of pop appealing than a lot of the other ones, but, you know, it gives me a bit of a young folks vibe. You know, you've got a man and a woman trading bars, trading bars over whistling and this breezy summery indie instrumental, but yeah, I'm gonna be listening to that a lot this summer. You know, it's gonna be a track I come back to a lot. It's just it. I talk a lot about timeless music. That track's one of those. I'm feeling a 10 on Orange County. The next track is going to be The God of Lying with Idols. Now, this track is very interesting. I did see a lot of hate for it, but I think Gorillaz and Idols is such an interesting collab. Yeah, I really like this song. I think that this track and The Happy Dictator really tie together quite interestingly. They feel almost like, you know, the dark and light version of each other. Let's get into it.
And being in it, because the being knows the unknown, the spiritual, the alien.
This track also just sounds like vintage, like early 2000s Gorillaz.
Who am I?
And I think Idols are really interesting addition to that sound.
Are you climbing up the walls? Are you deafened by the headlines? Or does your head not hear at all? Are you pacified by passion? Are you armed to the teeth? Are you bubbling at the surface of what's cooking underneath? Are you dying for an answer for what they call good grief? But there's a terrific chance there's nothing beyond what you believe.
Like, that verse is so harrowing. And it just, like, it doesn't sound like it. You know, this track is like a zany, groovy track. You know, you don't really think about, like, the implications of it. I also like this chorus a lot. Like, it almost has a bit of a sourness to it, but, like, in a good way. It's odd.
Father, anoint by fear of death. Do you feel the lies creep on by as soft as baby's breath? Do you beg that truth will set you free? Are you shackled by the keys? Well, if I was you, I'd stay strapped in, 'cause all you got is me. Oh, don't you say that you think that I'm in glory?
That track's a lot of fun. I still don't really see the hate for it. I'm feeling a 9. It's a really good song. Such a good song. As we now go into The Empty Dream Machine. Black Thought and Anushka Shankar are back for this one, but we've also got Johnny Marr in the mix. Let's see what happens on here. That'd be a real shame if it died mid-video and it never made a video again. turn this into one of those YouTube shorts where it's like, subscribe to save the guy. Subscribe to save me. Wow, you subscribed. Thanks for subscribing.
But not forever, so the feeling of the day before was really much more than anyone could pray for. An empty dream machine without you, minds in chains.
See, the bits where the vocals are a bit off honestly kind of appeal to me. Like, I don't know, the way that his voice has like kind of quivered on some of the tracks, whatever the fuck just happened there. Like some of the more like off-key moments and things, I think it adds to the experience, honestly.
His mind's at war again.
The vocal imperfections, that's what I mean.
I fear it's dark and angels are present here for real, and silence now by this dread. I thought I got my life straight. I thought I changed it, but it seems I've been crawling lately. I've prayed, I've cried, don't let me fall. I'm a chastened man.
This title's very accurate to how the song sounds, actually. This is a very dreamy track. I'm liking it a lot.
Right now, I feel this pain. I feel this transition. Well, I don't know what to say. Release me now. An empty dream machine without you. Listening to Asha sing dumb, model dumb. We acquire honor from it, but a model come. A heart driven by the drum is what I borrow from. In the shadowy light of the night until tomorrow come. Protection from cloves, cinnamon, and cardamom. My chalice was a masala, a son, harder son. My brain chopper from little one to martyrdom. Gave the bug to the inspiration we had caught it from. The armor stay wrapped tight like a chrysalis. It's planets in the palm of my hand, like it's a callus on the mountaintop of a wonderland. Like it was Alice, so every blood vessel expand. Forbidden talents doing tangent downward. A gold tooth in the trash can was the beginning of me kinda taking my last stand. When I was Wimbledon, they tried to swing me the backhand. Part of the pendulum and do me like I'm a black man. That's black like spirits, black like Krishna, or black like a deity that's trapped like a prisoner. It's a rap like Chiba rolled up into the Rizzler. When you black like Evil D, or black like Sizzler. I need you on my team. I need you on my team. The vision is distorted. I love you in my color. Floating up above you. I try to get my cheeks. I need you on my team. I need you by my side, girl. Need you on my team. All about it, right? Love you in that color. I need you on my team, girl. Floating up above.
See, I like this a lot, but if this was a Void song, I think I'd be hating right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was dissing it towards the end. That track's fantastic. I'm feeling another 10. I know I'm all over this album, but I'm not gonna sit and hide it. Like, there's a reason I anticipated this so much. It is for tracks like that. That was so otherworldly. Um, I really, really liked that. Like, I liked that a lot. Sometimes I do sit and think to myself, maybe Black Thought is like the greatest rapper alive. You know, a lot of people say Kendrick Lamar, or a lot of people say Pusha T, or a lot of people will say, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people would say like BLP Kosher. But I don't know, there is something about Black Thought that is just kind of in that conversation. You know, you look at what's happened to people like Lil Wayne and Kanye West as they've gotten to that age and they've started to release the worst music of their career. Even rappers who are younger than that, you know, the plateau so early. Yeah, Black Thought is arguably better now than he was in the 90s, you know, and that's crazy. You know, you're talking about a man who's what, like 50 years old, coming out and dropping verse of the year contenders every single year, dropping amazing songs. Like, fuck yeah. I'm all for Black Thought. Speaking of longevity, we've got Proof on here as well. The Manifesto with Truno and Proof. I really liked this song. Choosing between this and the Sparks track and a track we'll get to later for my song of the year by Gorillaz last year was so hard, because this, as much as it's less, I would say, like, immediately catchy and pop appealing than the Happy Dictator, it's just such a sonic journey. I keep saying journey, I keep saying adventure, but it really does feel like we're going up the mountain with them on this album. Let's go.
Yeah, count us, please.
I mean, Gorillaz are barely on this song, but like, I'll be real, like, this album so far, it's really positioned them in like almost like an executive producer light. You know, I'm not saying that this is like a DJ Khaled album, but more like West Side Gun. You know, you get the glimpses of their personality in Damon Albarn being awesome throughout the whole album, but you know, it's less about them as the centerpiece and more about everything that's happening around them. Yeah, they still manage to not get lost in that. Like, this does still feel like a Gorillaz album, even if it feels at points like stuff we've never heard from them before. It is such an exciting listen for that reason.
Yo no sé qué va a pasar mañana, cuando atienda la luz que me llama. Mami, mi futuro me reclama, camino hacia la luz. I have nothing to lose. Dice, yeah, crucé la puerta y hoy me siento libre. Dejé el pasado y me fijé en lo simple. Solo dame 21 gramos para sentirme firme. Y yo te dejo mi legado antes de irme. Cada paso una enseñanza. Sigo con confianza, tan rápido que el tiempo no me alcanza. No busco a la panza, menos falsas esperanzas. Descansa, como cuando estabas en la panza y despierta. Toma la carta en el asunto para poder mirar la vida en diferentes puntos. Pregunto, ¿qué habrá en ese mundo que viene después del mundo? Lo bueno es que vamos todos juntos. Yo voy con mis valores, también florezco regando la las flores, me llevo los aromas y los colores, hago que el cielo se enamore. Y si las nubes lloran, que no lloren. Tengo a los árboles de profesores, me encanta sentir el viento, subir la montaña sin aliento. Al final lo que importa es el intento, solo me acompañan mis hazañas, mi virtud y mis sentimientos, para escribir la parte 2 del cuento. Yo no sé qué va a pasar mañana, yo no sé, no entiendo la luz que me llama, a mí mi futuro me reclama, camino hacia la luz, I have nothing to lose, camino hacia la luz, camino hacia la luz,
Like, that's the thing. A lot of this album really sort of showcases these other artists, I feel. And that's kind of what I was trying to communicate with my, like, West Side Gun point, you know. I mean, it is because I'm uncultured, but, you know, a lot of these artists, you know, there's a lot of artists all over here that I am familiar with, whether it be Sparks or Tony Allen or Cara Jackson or Idols or Black Thought or Yassine Bey and all these kind of artists, Bobby Womack. But everyone else, you know, this feels like a chance for them to really break through into other audiences, and like it's really nice to hear all these introductions to all these different sounds and all these different countries, folk music, and it's just, it's such a powerful way to do things, you know. This album, as much as it is a concept and there's all this crazy stuff happening with these characters and stuff all over the album, you know, it truly at its heart feels like a love letter to music and a love letter to the album experience, because so much music that comes out is, you know, for different motivations and all this stuff. You know, you look at all the propaganda music that's coming out right now, and you look at all the AI shit and all this. This feels more human than anything. You know, just sitting down, listening to this album with you guys, talking way too much. We're nearly an hour into the video and we're not even halfway through the album. There's something so magical about doing that. Like, you know, I'm aware that no one's watching now because you probably got sick of me just rambling and ranting, but, you know, this feels really special to me. So I'm really grateful to have this experience. Thank you, gorillaz, and thank you, dear viewer. Like, this track's already so amazing, and we're not even into the fucking second half. Like, this is pretty much like 2-3 songs in one, and they're all amazing. Like, Truno absolutely killed it on here. So does Proof.
Seen a killer with fangs and millimeters that bang and killers think just been slang and still I reach ya. Y'all ain't ready for death until I show the whole breath. Until you blow the one set, my niggas throw up. How many times I gotta prove you're not to test me? This ooze can't be deadly slugs move through your chest piece. It's all reality. Beefing with your block, got you creeping with your Glock. Now you sleeping in the box. No one can convince the invincible to be sensible. Bits in the principle, my pistol won't miss you all. Why shouldn't I diss you, dog? I'm Leatherface. This E&J made me say your DNA's genetic waste. A medic case that'll detonate. Dirty Harry. A pathetic taste that shroom head that murder fairies. A recovering heroin addict looking down the barrel of my parents' attic. Got this shotgun just swearing at it. My triggers have turned a pump into a Uzi. You chumps do that movie, y'all jump inside movies. Y'all scary dudes that hide behind your niggas, confide inside a squiller and die beneath a river. My urban strikes are not. Oh, I'm just fucking. All right, come on, let's go.
It just feels so big, you know. I can sit and say, oh, it's grandiose, all I want, you know, but it's just not gonna match up to the height of this album, you know. For an album called The Mountain, it's truly mountainous music, you know. Every single one of these tracks feels massive. Even, you know, like a poppier track like The Happy Dictator or Orange County, or The Moon Cave, like, they all feel so larger than life that, you know, it just, like, it's so hard to match something like this, you know. Like, this immediately is coming out like a blockbuster movie in the album of the year conversation, you know. And not one of those blockbuster movies where it's all investment and CGI and plastic and all that shit. No, I'm on about a blockbuster movie that's actually fucking good.
Let go, ya, entro rompiendo la puerta, acá no tenemos miedo, le estamos pegando la vuelta.
And then you've got like another beat switch and just this fucking insane verse.
Paso portales que matan mortales, con tales que el mundo revienta. Titi tiembla la placa tectónica, suena la armónica, rinde la cuenta. Te reúno, te saca la venda pa' que veas que la realidad no está en venta. Sigo buscando el final del túnel, busco esa luz que al final nos une. Solo los buenos son los que suben, las armas levitando como el volumen. Solo uno más en el cardumen, busco la paz todos los lunes. Soy de los que asumen mentiras, de los que respiran cuando no hay perfume.
I mean, come on. Come on. That's track 8, and it feels like a massive centerpiece for the album. You know, it really feels like this album's almost built around that song. You know, it's just, it's easy to say for the longest song on the album, but it's so mammoth, you know. Such a wonderful song, truly. I love that shit. I really love that shit. Um, yeah, like what do I even say? Like it's just yeah. I think I said a lot of what I needed to say about that song while it played, but there's a reason why putting the Happy Dictator on last year's end of year best songs list was such a hard decision despite it being such an amazing song. Now, bear with me. You're actually not going to go on a break, but I am going to go and restock my water. I will be back in a moment. Okay, I am back. After longer than anticipated, my family got back. So I was speaking to them. But we're gonna finish this album as we get into the second half with the Plastic Guru. This track features Johnny Marr and Anushka Shankar. Holy shit, that's called motherfucking. Let's go. Sounds been so good so far.
Now are you picking this up? Great. I am very open.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm not implicating you. Have fun.
We're going on another tattoo one. Alright. I suppose that was the way to follow up such a colossal track. This another one. This one's going to be great for walking to, I think. I like this one a lot. So funny. Why is this album coming out in February?
Is that not the truth?
They're marching down towards the end. Instant chorus.
Okay, so stop.
Okay, the Plastic Guru had some really interesting commentary on it. You know, a lot of conversation about like free will on there. I really like that track. It was just a super bouncy, fun pop song. Which I'm enjoying as well. You know, so many of these like critically acclaimed albums coming out now are like these fucking 800-minute long post-rock epics and everything that aren't fun. This is fun. Like, I'm enjoying going through this. Next up, we've got Delirium. That last shout was a 9, by the way. Because I realised in the Mitski video that I just wasn't rating the tracks. That track's a 9. Next up, we've got Delirium with Marky Smith of the Fall fame. Rest in peace, of course, to Marky Smith. Let's see where this track goes.
Open the door. Can you hear the drums? There's panic on the mountain 'cause the new god's come. He doesn't recognize himself for what he's done. But if you don't embrace him, then it's time to run. If you don't believe in him, open the door and let me in. I've been out in the chat rooms waiting for the end to begin. Maybe I'm a young man with a broken wing. Maybe I'm just searching for a voice within me. Hope you can hear me calling. Open the door. Wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Okay, I was expecting that.
Sooner or later,
It's an absolute explosion.
Raise the alarm. There's fires on the mountain and the full moon's come. If you're sitting in the darkness with your loaded gun, it's time you understood you gotta get up and run. I hope that you can hear me calling.
This is like almost disco-y with those fucking string sweeps. I like this one. I like this one a lot. It's a strange track in the context of the album. I think that thematically it really ties in, but sonically it sounds really different. But I'm liking it. Banger. That simply put was just a banger. I'm being real. That I'm feeling a 9 on that one. So groovy, So much fun. Yeah, fantastic track. Guest contribution was great as well. I was a little nervous with a posthumous feature, but it came through. Fantastic. Next up, speaking of tracks that are fantastic, I've been waiting for a chance to speak about this one. The final track on here that I have heard is we've got 4 brand new tracks to close the album, which is exciting. This is Damascus, featuring Omar Suleiman and Yasin Bey. What a fucking song. Those are the days. I do genuinely like this track. That pure dance music.
Top down on your radio. DA in the place you so fresh. Suleiman in the place you know. Make them know every place you go.
اليوم عين بعينه باكر وينه وينه
Shit from Damascus, lean on point. The fantasy is real, feel free, enjoy.
كل يوم عين بعينه باكر وينه وينه
New brand news in the old school voice. Hush, Habibti, it's time to make noise.
راحت مني ندامة الماني مذبح ضينه
Here to navigate the waves in the dark, no map. Stars in the heavens and the breeze on my back.
راحت مني ندامة الماني مذبح ضينه
Hallelujah, holla, brother, yalla. Turkish coffee, Starbucks, get off. Here to navigate the waves in the dark, no map. Stars in the heavens and the breeze on my back. Know where I'm headed and I'll be where I'm at. That's the way it is and it's like new arrivals. Fresh arrivals, new arrivals. Fresh arrivals, new arrivals. Fresh arrivals, new arrivals. Fresh arrivals. Ship from Damascus, need more point. The fantasy is real, feel free, enjoy. New brand news in the soulful voice. Hush, Habibti, it's time to make noise. Fuddle, yalla, hallelujah, holla. Turkish coffee, Starbucks, she corny. Navigate the waves in the dark, no map. Stars in the heavens and the breeze on my back.
لا يا حبيب الأول لولا قدر ما دوسك
Big ship from Damascus, point, need more inspiration, movement, hysteria, here we go.
لا يا حبيب الأول لولا قدر ما دوسك
Yes, super fresh is known to be. See a real cool bullet don't overheat. Yes,
لولا كتيبون حجازي يحرم علي ملبوسك
they say hallelujah, holla, yalla, yalla. Turkish coffee, Starbucks, warning.
لولا كتيبون حجازي يحرم علي ملبوسك
Sing it, navigate the waves in the light of the black. Stars in the heavens and the breeze on my back. Say hallelujah, holla, yalla, yalla. Turkish coffee, Starbucks, she corny. Know where I'm headed and I'll be where I be. They got it how they got it, but not like me. Fresh arrivals, new arrivals. Fresh arrivals, new arrivals. Fresh arrivals, new arrivals. Fresh arrivals. D-Day in the place you so. Dante in the place you so. Suleiman in the place you know. Make him know everywhere you go. Top down on your radio. D-Day in the place you so. Dante in the place you go. Suleiman in the place you know.
Okay. Don't even start. Come on. Come on. Like, I might have been lying to myself when I said Happy Dictator was the best single of this. Actually, I definitely was. Fucking, oh, such a good tune. Like, I love the folk influence once again. I believe that's Omar Suleiman on vocals, um, for those Arabic sections. Fantastic, amazing. Most Def, Yasin Bey, whatever you want to call him, he fucking killed it on there. We need forensics. Actually, is it forensics? I don't know. I might be getting my Alchemist collab albums mixed up. We need that Most Def Alchemist album. I'll take a Most Def album without Alchemist. We just need it. Come on, we've been waiting too long. But yeah, that track, that'll do for now. That is a fantastic song. I'm feeling 10. Of course, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, motherfucker. And that's what I'm saying. I love the dabke influence in that song as well. It's not a genre that I'm super familiar with, but every time I have heard it, top notch shit. If I've got any viewers that are more informed about dabke, please let me know what I should be checking out, because it's fucking flames. Next up, we've got The Shadowy Light. This is another like posse cut ass song. We've got Asha Bosley, Gruff Reese, AJ Prasanna, Aman Ali Bangash, and Ayan Ali Bangash on here. Let's go. Another nice long one. 5 minutes 40. Come on, I've not got a lot to say about this one, honestly. This is just really beautiful music. It's so bright and airy. And this guest vocalist, I'm not sure who that is. I'm going to assume that's one of Asha Bosley, Gruff Reese, and AJ Prasanna, though. Because obviously Aman and Ayan were on the opener and they weren't singing on there. So I'm gonna assume it's one of the first three. I'm sorry for not being tapped in, but they're killing it on here. I love like I love the vocals on this track. But yeah, this is another really dreamy one. Like, this is that straight up like meadow fucking, you know that one like Gen 4 Pokemon area where it's got all like the crazy flowers and shit, like next to that town. This is like the music they would play in there. This is wonderful. Sorry for busting out the Pokemon references. Like, I'm having a fantastic time. I hope you guys are enjoying this video as well. Please, I encourage you to listen to this album without me speaking over it, because I imagine it's so much better that way. Yeah, thanks for coming on this journey with me.
I shed my skin. The end is the beginning. Smile, smile, smile. Accepting and forgiving. This is the end of the beginning. I shed my skin. The end is the beginning.
That song is actually just fucking sensational. Holy shit, I'm feeling a 10. Right out the gate on that one. That might be the best new track we've gotten. I'm thinking about bumping the Moon Cave up to a 10 as well, but then the whole album's just a 10. This shit is amazing. Like, actually. That song, it's just excellent. Like, it hits every base it's going for so well. And yeah, like, I felt that shit was just transcendental. Like, I was floating away at that shit. I don't want this to end. I'm having such an amazing time listening to this album. It's been such a wonderful experience so far. Like, I can't even put it into words, you know? It's just so complete, you know? Like, this is giving me the feeling I got when I listened to the Imaginal Disc for the first time, by the way, Magdalena Bay and LAX Live was fucking amazing. I was going to do a video about it, but I got ill. But when I first listened to that album, and it was just so complete and so whole, and every single second of music was just wonderful, and there was so much attention and detail. Like, this is the shit that gets me passionate about music. You know, I fucking love music. There's a reason why I've got a whole channel dedicated to it. There's a reason I review it. You know, there's so much love and care and passion and ambition and attention to detail within this album that I just can't help but rant and rave. I'm so sorry for how long this video is because of me ranting and raving, but this is special, man. This, like, I'm not even done this thing. These last 3 songs could be absolute stinkers. I mean, they're not going to be, but they could be. And this is still a front runner for album of the year. I would be shocked if anything tops this, genuinely. And we've got 10 months of the year to go. I love getting to do this, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Next up, we've got Casablanca. This track features Paul Simon on. I recognize that name from somewhere. And Johnny Marr. Johnny Marr all over this album. Let's go. Strange little groove on here. I think the code is that. Loving these like zippy little synths going on and everything. Come on.
Always remain open as they stare into the abyss. I don't know anything that feels like this. No, I don't know anything that hits like this. No, I don't know anything. Feels like this kid. Underlit by savage fire, motorway Casablanca, with a tunnel to suburbia is opening soon. And the lone shooter lies unseen on the rooftop and stares into the abyss. I don't know anything.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this one either. I feel like that's the best kind of tracks though. The ones that leave you speechless. This one's really elegant. You know, I thought when I first heard that sort of, I was expecting another like God of Lying style track. You know, a spooky weird one, which this one it is a little spooky, but it's just so ethereal. I like this one a lot. Very. Where am I hearing pipes from? Very calming. I'm liking this album a lot. Can't you tell? At least I know one of those floating away tracks. That was beautiful. It's not my favorite on the album or anything, but it's one that I can see myself coming back to a lot just because of the atmosphere it creates, you know. I love music that really sort of builds worlds and lets you into them, you know. It's why I love Magdalena Bay's music. It's why I love Kendrick Lamar's music. You know, it's why I love so many different artists that can just create these atmospheres. Like every single one of these tracks, you know, they all come together to make this wonderful bigger picture, but they're all amazing artwork within themselves. Like I can pull so many tracks out of this, and like I'm making what this video is probably going to be like a million hours long, right? About the album as a whole. I could make ever long videos about each of these tracks. You know, I'm going to spend a lot of time with this because it's just it's I can't even really put it into words. It's just such a wonderful ode to what makes music beautiful. As we go into the penultimate track, again, I don't want this shit to end. It's so beautiful. But our penultimate track is The Sweet Prince. We've got AJ Prasanna, Johnny Marr, and Anushka Shankar on this one. 4.5 minutes. Let's go. Again, coming to me with beautiful instruments. And I love a good flute. Oh, don't do this to me. I can already hear what kind of song this is gonna be. We're going like full psych on here.
There are stars far away that you might reach somehow. There are skies that'll never hit, so why pretend they've gone away? Sweet prince, don't be sad. You were never meant to be here. And the sword you hold in your hand, well, this mighty blow will set you on your pattern path into the next life. Found myself by your bedside, looking out across the void. I was trying to say I love you, but you just looked the other way.
There's a finality to this song. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking how this is kind of giving like the end of the band. I'm going to start getting emotional. This track's getting to me, man. It starts pulling my heartstrings. Going through the beautiful keys. I'm never going to complain about the beautiful keys. I'm managing to hold them back for the most part. Oh, that one was rough. I'm not gonna lie, that one was rough on me. I don't know what it is about that track. It just felt so potent to me and so I don't even know. I don't even know. That song feels like the end and I don't like it. I'm feeling honestly, I'm feeling another 10. Fuck it, whole album's a 10. No, I'm kidding. This album is not a 10, but I can see it aging as one. Right now it's not for me, but I don't know. I really don't know. Sweet Prince, it was just such it got me right in my heart, you know. A lot of this album has, made me quite emotional, which you've probably heard. You know, there's a reason why I've been talking so much. It's just this this is what excites me. This is what gets me going, you know. Like, music's always been my biggest interest from when I was young, and this shit's why, you know. For all you gamers, like, killing the best boss ever, or like, I don't know, a footballer scoring a fucking last minute goal or whatever. This album is like that for me, you know. Being able to listen to this, like, this shit's why I make music, you know. This is why I love I love the art form so much. And why everyone loves the art form so much. You know, music is such a universal thing, and this feels like such a universal album. It just I can't stop singing its praises, but that's because it truly deserves them. As we go in to the closer. The Sad God featuring Black Thought, AJ Prasanna, and Anushka Shankar. This might be the final gorillaz song. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's how this album's starting to feel to me. It's only really hit me in the last like 3 tracks, but this feels like going out on a banger. I hope it's not, because I obviously would love more Gorillaz music because I'm greedy. But if this is how it's going to end for them, what a fantastic send off this would be. Fucking elite album. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not. Normally, I sort of try in my videos to make it a bit like of a mystery. Like, ooh, what's the score I'm gonna give this at the end? This, I'm not. Like, this is just. I'm trying to think of synonyms for good, because good doesn't begin to describe how amazing this album is. My vocabulary might not be very good, but the feeling that this music has given me is. The Sad God. Let's fucking go. Initially, I wasn't even going to react to this. I was like, oh, I've heard too many singles. It's not going to be a good reaction because I'm just going to be listening to music I've already heard. No. I hope you feel the same way about this video that I do. But I'm having such a fun time. We're going this way, okay. Hitting me with the bitty synths, alright.
I gave you love to fill, oh glory. I gave you dreams, you wrote the story. I gave you white sails to reach the sun. I gave you atoms, you built a bomb. Now there is nothing, and I have gone. No more mountain, no more song, no more presents up into space. Only screams left to see your face.
Yeah, I got the intel through the inkwell. You do well when you think well, and people more likely to try to give you hell when you bring hell. It ain't got to begin well, but it's all well if it end well, and end well. A man still gotta mean well and intend well, even.
Of course the album's good. It's got fucking 3 Black Thought verses on it.
You were dating misery's friend of a friend, girl. The guard fell. Your light broke through the hard shell of an incel trapped inside of a statue. Scratch vinyl in the back room, accumulating in a vacuum, and ruminating in the bathroom. Just an illustration in a tattoo. Blood moon, blue black moon. Even if they let me into heaven, I would probably just move back soon. That Dracula, that frat too. Ooh la la, Sassoon. Lay Miss Rob, one little nod at you and I got you. Type shit to lay a clap track to. I can't say it ain't factual. The master remain natural should be the answer when they ask you my advantage. The paradise you were handed like a paradise, and I'm living with uninhibited, unlimited terabytes of.
I gave you blue skies, sweet fantasy. I gave you morphine for melody. I gave you white sails, you weaponized. I gave you guns, you closed your eyes.
Back again. Let's go be Unleashed to Shankar. They're such a welcome presence on this album, honestly. They've killed on every track we've been on. Well, I suppose those are the end credits, aren't they? What an album! I'm gonna give some final thoughts on the Sad God before I get into my initial thoughts on the album. That track was what can I say? It was wondrous. You know, this album has been so enchanting thus far, and that felt like the culmination of all that. I'm feeling a 9.5 on the Sad God. Black Thought came through with a fantastic verse. Anushka Shankar was going crazy towards the end, assuming that that is them on the instrumental. And, you know, it had this somberness to it, but it was a very cathartic track. But yeah, this album, I've been singing its praises for the whole video, so I almost don't know what to say now, other than I love this. Like I love this album. It means a lot to me already, and I haven't really been through anything with it yet. But you know, just going on this escapade from track 1 to track 15 and all the different places it took me to, it just, you know, this is music. This is what music is at its finest. You know, it's so refined, yet it doesn't shy away from imperfection. You know, like this album very easily could have been overproduced and overthought and weirdly complicated and everything, but no, it just, there's so many moving pieces, and it all comes together perfectly. Nothing fell out of place here, even though this isn't what, like, when we were listening to Demon Days back in the day, this isn't what we thought that this band was going to become, you know. But yeah, this is not only the best Gorillaz album in years. I think this Plastic Beach is holding me back a little bit, but this might just be the best Gorillaz album that there is. What the fuck? Like, this is so, so good. Now, if you're not familiar with the channel, I like to do a favourite and least favourite track segment. Let's try that on here, shall we? The Mountain, The Moon Cave, The Happy Dictator, Orange County, The Empty Dream Machine, The Manifesto, Damascus, The Shadowy Light, The Sweet Prince, and The Sad God. That's 10 tracks. 10 favourite tracks. There's not a single fucking miss on here. I'm not picking a least favourite track. I suppose if I had to, it would probably be the hardest thing just because it's an interlude, but like, even then, fucking one of the best interludes of the year. This is so good. Now, I'm going to go calculate my score for this album. If you're wondering how I do that, I take all those track ratings I gave through the video, add them up and average them out, and it comes to a score out of 100 because I review things on Album of the Year. Please follow me at Carry the Fox. I might do a review for this album. I will be back. Bear with me. Well, my final score on The Mountain is a 96 out of 100. That might be the highest I've ever gave in a reaction video. But it truly is deserving, and it might even grow. Like, I don't know. I don't see this album going down in my estimations at all. I can only see it going up. It's just, it's so good. I would love to know what you think of this album, what your favorite track is. Please comment down below. If I had to pick a favorite track, I genuinely wouldn't know. I think I'd probably go with The Shadowy Light or Damascus. That's probably my two options for my favorite track on here, although, you know, you've got fucking The Manifesto, The Empty Dream Machine, The Happy Dictator, The Sad God, all these amazing tracks. The fucking Moon Cave. I'm not gonna lie, I only gave that a 9.5 because I was like, I don't want to give every track a 10 for the sake of entertainment. No, I do want to give every track a 10 because they fucking are. But yeah, comment down below what you think of this album. I'd love to continue this discussion. My apologies for this video being so long, but if you managed to enjoy it despite it being this long, please do consider leaving a like because it lets me know what you guys are interested in, as well as making me happy. Speaking of interest, if you're interested in more music discussion and album reactions and you really enjoyed this video, please do consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to have you on the team. Try to hit 40 subscribers by the end of the year. And my opinions I shared in the last video are probably going to negatively impact that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. This is the most fun I've had making a video this year, easily. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it, but I will catch you in the next one. Haven't thought of a name yet? Signing out.